Hi, guys. Thank you so much for listening, supporting, rating, and reviewing, and following the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you. And every time you share our podcast with someone else, it helps our show grow. Just a heads up, we did have a little bit of technical difficulty at the beginning, but it leveled out after about 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe even sooner than that. So just wanted to give you a heads up with that. Obviously, during COVID-19, we are still all in quarantine and recording all remotely, and that can add some issues. But it's not too bad. Don't worry. It'll be fine. And thanks again. Our studio sponsor, our highlight sponsor, one we really appreciate. Well, we appreciate all our sponsors, but the studio sponsor for the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast is Irvine's Auto Repair. They are located off of Stafford. They are located on Stafford off of 44th Street, just east of 131. Their telephone number is 616-532-6600. They are open during COVID-19 lockdown. They are an essential business. They will come pick up your car and deliver your car repaired, sanitized both times, so you do not have to worry about it. This is a veteran, woman-owned company, and man, we appreciate them. You can also schedule online at irvines.com. Everything's digital. You don't have to go in or do anything, so please take advantage of the time that your car is not being driven, and if you need a repair or some maintenance done, please get that done. Again, you can reach them at 616-532-6600 or irvines.com. Our second sponsor is Jackie at Michigan Insurance and Financial Services. You can reach Jackie at 269-569-6127, or you can email her, Jackie at miafs.com. That's Jackie at miafs.com. Jackie is kind of like an insurance broker. I don't know if I'm using that word right. Basically, what you do is you give her information. She makes it hassle-free, and she shops several companies to give you the best price and option. Of course, if you are a rideshare driver, all the companies that she works with, for the most part, offer a rideshare insurance rider, which you should have. And Jackie takes the hassle out of, basically the worst part is firing your old insurance company. She did that for me digitally. I didn't even have to do anything, so it was really great. Everything was done online. I signed everything online. She just takes the hassle out of changing insurance companies. So at least once a year, you should get an insurance audit and make sure that you're getting the best price. She saved me over $70 a month, so I can't thank her enough. Okay, guys, thank you again for supporting us, and enjoy the show. Hi guys, welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast, rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This studio is sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Had a little tech issue going on. Now I see Jesper's belly. So it's going well. Well, thank you guys again for joining us. Getting a little echo tonight, so if I sound a little frustrated, that's it. We're using Skype, and we tested it last night, and it was golden. We were like, all right, we're good to go. Somebody new tonight is Chad. He is the Uber driver we talked about earlier that got the wretched COVID-19 and was really sick from it. And we'll get to him in a minute. And then we got Pete in the right-hand corner and Jesper in the lower left and me in the upper left. If you guys could share the podcast to any of your Facebook groups that you're in or any of your friends that might like to listen to the podcast or chime in, we would really appreciate it. So usually what we do is we jump into stories and,
there's no stories.
No, none of us is driving.
No.
And for good reason, because of COVID-19. And it's super serious. And if you are from Michigan, you saw that there was a lot of people protesting today, and it was a little ridiculous. So we won't get into any of that kind of political stuff, but it was kind of a weird day. So I'm just going to jump into a couple of our quick ads. I want to play a weekly recap from our Telegram group. So you can kind of join this group. And we talk about everything now. Gig economy, rideshare, butts sometimes. Poor Janet, I see she's live on Facebook, and it, kind of makes me cringe a little bit when she sees that, because I feel like she's a sweetheart. So I'm going to play a weekly recap that John does. It's a little long, and it's not too bad, but this is what he does. Basically, once a week, he kind of cuts up all the stuff we say. And it's kind of funny, so I will play that. And where did it go?
She's live.
What the hell? Oh, that's in the bottom. I even wrote a note. The slide is on the bottom.
Remember, John, dirty little dick beaters.
Happy Sunday.
Oh, that's in the bottom.
It's the GR Rideshare Adventures Telegram Weekly Recap Week 28.
Going well today.
We're back.
Remember, John, dirty little dick beaters.
Happy Sunday. That's great. Couple slices of... Doing all right, Steph. Have a good night, man. Larry.
But I already got knee pads. It's going to be working.
Yeah, Miguel said he's buying pizza, one slice a person.
Tell you what. Oh, I lost my ability to see how long my drivers are going.
Well, there's no strong wind in the one that blows down the lonesome road.
Which way did she get there?
Well, there's no strong wind in the one that blows down the lonesome road.
Which way did she get there?
When you're living in a van down by the river.
Okay, somebody's got something on, Jesper or something, because I just dumped that because it's looping somewhere. Does anyone have anything on?
Nope.
Pete, you're muted.
It was Jesper. I muted him on the stream just now. So Jesper, you have to unmute yourself. Your sound was coming through your Skype.
Jesper,
you're muted. You have to click on the microphone button to unmute yourself.
Hello?
There we go.
Okay, is there something that he needs to do?
Were you playing the sound through your speakers, Jesper? Because it was coming over the stream.
No, my headphone.
Because I think Facebook is playing the audio that you're looking at. You need to mute that site.
Yeah.
I dumped John's recap because I'm like, wait a minute, there's a wormhole going on. Wow. Do you know how to mute your site on Facebook?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right.
I had it muted.
Okay. It wasn't. I just want to make sure before we continue. So I dumped that. I'm sorry about all the technical problems. We've been good up until tonight. I don't know. I mean, right. I do not know what's going on. I apologize. We'll get through it. So
we didn't use Skype last time.
What's that, Jesper?
We did not use Skype last time.
No, I'm regretting it tenfold right now. So why don't we just jump into Chad's interview and hopefully things will settle down. I hope it doesn't dump for you, Chad, and if it does, we'll do it again and we'll make it right. So Chad is a driver in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I didn't know this was going on until I saw the news article and saw him getting wheeled out of the hospital, and then I read the article. I'm like, hey, I know that guy. And so why don't you kind of give us a little rundown of what happened, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, I'm super sorry about that. I mean, welcome to streaming with during COVID-19. I apologize. Chad that this happened, but we're going to try it again. So basically what happened with Chad is he was an Uber driver in Grand Rapids, is an Uber driver in Grand Rapids. And
I'm not dead. Come on.
They didn't kill me yet. If COVID-19 didn't kill me, sure as hell Uber's not going to kill me.
No.
So he was a driver in Grand Rapids, got really, really sick. Now, this isn't just like the symptoms, like the whole 9 yards got sick and was one of the first people to come home from it in probably Michigan, maybe not Michigan, but at least Grand Rapids for sure. Chad, why don't you introduce yourself and kind of tell us your story with Uber and Lyft, and then kind of get into your, your story about this.
Yeah, my name's Chad Kaufman, and I've been driving Uber for just over 5 years now. Got about 5,000 rides in. I've got about a 4.98 rating, so I've been working pretty hard to get the rating back up to where it should be. Started feeling sick back in the beginning of March. Thought it was just a head cold and congestion and all that stuff, and started feeling worse about the 14th of March. Started getting a lot more body aches and feeling pretty shitty. And so about 5 days later, my wife finally convinced me, because I was wheezing so bad, to go into the urgent care at St. Mary's. And they told me to go back to the hospital if I didn't feel good within 24 hours. And less than 12 hours, I went back and they intubated me right away. And I was put onto a ventilator and was put into like a medically induced coma for about 10 days. And it's pretty weird, the things that you see and that you think that you are experiencing when you're put under. And I didn't realize that when you're put under for so long that you can actually dream like that. And it was scary. It was more scary for my wife because she couldn't come in and see me. My mom, who lives in the area, and my sister, who lives in the area, couldn't come and see me. I was by myself. I was in one of those rotating beds that flips you up, flips you on your stomach and then flips you back to try to get some of the fluids going that were in my lungs, so it wouldn't all just sit in one place. Technically had pneumonia, I guess. And then when I woke up, I found out that I had a blood clot on the right side of my lung. And so I'm taking blood thinners now for the next 6 months, which should be pretty fun, as long as I don't get a rash like I did with the first stuff that I'm taking right now. It was just terrifying. It's not a good feeling at all to feel alone, to be sitting in a room where you can't see any doctors or nurses face to face. They come in dressed like they're from outer space, trying not to get, coughed on or spit on or anything like that. And I don't blame them. They've done a great job, but it's just very disconcerting to have somebody come in and know that there's somebody under there, but you just can't see them, and you just feel even more alone. But grateful to be alive. Second brush with death that I've had. I had meningitis when I was 5 months old and almost died then. So I'm very, very fortunate and lucky to still be here. And just glad to be here, be alive, and be able to spend more time with my wife and my dogs, and hopefully be able to see my mom at some point. She's getting older, so I can't really see her at the moment, but it'd be good to see them sometime soon as well.
Yeah, I'm super glad that you recovered, man. That's scary, because other than the meningitis earlier in life, you were relatively healthy, right? Just no medical problems or anything?
No, yeah. I mean, I played sports in high school. I didn't have any asthma. I didn't have any bronchitis or respiratory issues when I was a kid. So I didn't have anything pre-existing or anything per se. It was just one of those things where it just hit me hard, and my wife had it as well, but it just went right over her, and she didn't get sick at all. The worst that happened to her is that after the fact, she got bronchitis, but I think that's something that was just unrelated. Okay.
So real quick about when you were in the coma, did you know what was going on, or were you just kind of in and out? I'm just curious.
Man, I thought I did. I had to go through, after talking to my parents, talking to my wife. I had to go through and kind of analyze everything, to kind of poke holes into my own story, to see what was real and to see what wasn't real. And it took probably a good week to kind of convince myself that half the stuff, if not 3/4 of the stuff, didn't happen that I thought happened.
Oh, that could make you a little paranoid coming out. Like, this happened. Like, what is going on? And,
Yeah. Thinking that I was in one hospital and then coming back and knowing that I was in this other hospital, wondering how stressed out I must have been, or how much I must have been stressing out these nurses, wondering what the hell was wrong with me.
Right. So tell me a little bit about Uber and how they handled, did they pay you? Was it hard to get? What happened with that?
I think I got around $1,000. My wife did it for me when I was actually out. She did it for me, and it seemed like it was pretty easy to do. She just had to send in a couple things to verify, but that was about it. I'm lucky from the standpoint that I was one of the first ones to get it, just because I could actually have a respirator to myself without having to share it with anybody, like you hear on some news sites, or you just things like that. So,
yeah, I'm very, very glad everything turned out. I mean, that's scary. Like, to go from like completely, healthy and within like a couple of days being like under or in a coma is just nuts to me. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. And I can't put myself in that position at all.
It sounds like you got really lucky because in the local groups, it seems like some of the others who have gotten sick have had a really hard time getting Uber and Lyft, for that matter, to get them to, provide the compensation that they, both companies said they would do. So it's good that you were able to get it right through.
Were these people that also had COVID-19, or were these people that were just quarantining?
I think there was one other person that said he had COVID-19, but there was a couple who were told to self-quarantine as what do they call it? A likely, that likely they had it or whatever.
Yep.
Didn't have the symptoms, but recommended the quarantine.
Right.
It feels to me, though, that if you usually drive, 6 to 8 hours every night, it feels to me $1,000 is not nearly what you should have gotten.
No, I made about $50,000 last year, and I don't think that was enough either. But I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing, right? So that they paid out, but did they really pay what they should?
Well, it's even worse now. And one of the articles we're going to cover later is Uber actually went back and changed their plan for drivers who catch COVID-19 or who are quarantined because of it. And they've drastically reduced the amount of money that they were going to pay out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, they honestly don't have to pay anything, and maybe people will hate me for saying that. I mean, we are independent contractors, and the same goes with the money for unemployment with the PUA. They don't have to pay. I mean, this is the first time ever, and I think Chad said you build decks too. Is that?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're independent. Like, you can't collect unemployment. You know what I mean? You're kind of your own boss. So this is kind of a huge thing for the government and for Uber to do. And so, not that $1,000 ain't shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they shouldn't have paid more, but it is nice that they at least came through for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I mean, my sister was smart enough to start a GoFundMe, so we've got some money from that to kind of get us through. Plus, I'm still looking for other jobs too. I mean, as much as I want to be at home healing, I get bored at home too easily. I want to get out there and do something. If it's not driving, I got to be doing something.
Yeah,
right.
Tell me about it. I've been home for a month and I love my kids. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not built to be a stay-at-home dad. Like, I am ready to go back to work, but I know me being home is the healthiest thing for everyone, and I'm trying to do the best I can. So you've recovered really well. I mean, that I knew you quite a bit beforehand, but you seem, energetic and ready to rock, and it's crazy.
What's your future plans, Chad? Are you going back to driving? Once everything is through and we have a plan, are you planning on driving again?
Yeah, I was going to kind of slow down a little bit myself, just because I have a BMW now and I don't want to mess it up as far as like putting too many miles on the thing or kind of wearing it out. So I want to be doing other stuff. I've done Verizon in the past. I've done that for about 15 years. So there's a couple of things I can always fall back on if I want to do something different. But like I said before, I'm just very lucky. I was their first patient that was actually on a ventilator that actually got out of there. So I think that's why they made it such a big deal, even though it was kind of embarrassing. It was kind of cool just to know that that they did their jobs, they did it well, and they deserve all the credit. You know, I shouldn't be here by any means, and I'm very fortunate that they did such a good job at St. Mary's.
Yeah, Janet brought up a good point. She is from New Zealand, and I don't know if they have universal health care there, but did you have health insurance going into this or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife works at Amway, so I use her insurance. They've got a really good insurance program there. However, from what one of my sisters was telling me is that the state is considering covering everything and then just working it out with the insurance company. And so everything would be 100% covered since we were diagnosed with COVID-19. And that might be one reason why I got that money so quickly too, is because we actually had a piece of paper that said that I was actually diagnosed with it. So that might be another reason why I got that money so quickly from Uber.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you have a paper that says it, like you've been diagnosed, I mean, what are you going to argue about?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, pay the dude.
And a picture of me laying, in a coma. So come on.
Yeah. I'm just so glad they paid you out and you didn't have to go to the news and go to Twitter with your picture, being splayed out like your wife would have to do that. That would have been so embarrassing for them.
Right.
Yeah, a couple people have had to do that. For the folks that didn't know, there's a few people who Uber would not pay for what they said they were going to pay, so they had to tweet the CEO of Uber in order for action to be taken.
Yeah, I did see that too. So, wow. Well, I'm so glad everything turned out. I mean, man, you listen to Chad's story, because everyone that's going to the governor. Oh, I knew I wasn't going to say it. I went into it. Everyone that's going to the Capitol and stuff, like, man, he was healthy. Like, everything was fine. And like a couple days later, he was in the hospital. So this is not something to mess around with. I mean, we all know that, but when you finally hear it from somebody, firsthand, you're like, geez, Louise, you're thinking about your grandmother or your parents to protect. But, Chad was a healthy guy, and look what happened. So, Chad, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so glad you're healthy. And hey, man, you should join our Telegram group. I know we talked about it before we dumped the stream, but you can, of course, the links aren't in here, but I'll repost the links later on. But you can join our Telegram group and chat with us. And there's not a ton of chatter going on right now because no one's really doing a lot of work, but we would love to have you.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Hope you have a great night.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Okay. Hi.
So, I don't know if I want to jump right into this one, but we skipped one issue from the lineup, Jason. We were going to talk a little bit about the picnic, which is hopefully still on, right?
Yeah, that was the least of my worries at this point.
I got to move my mine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so let me move my camera. It's driving me nuts.
I'm a little close. So yeah, basically, once you join the Facebook group, we have an event in there, and in August, hopefully, everything is still on at the park here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I'm a little scared about it. I'm going to a podcast conference and to learn how to live stream. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey-o.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure they'll talk about live streaming. They'll say, get a better computer. Have your friend Jesper say yes. No, so they are thinking about it's in like a week before our picnic, and they're thinking about moving the date. I'm like, that's scary as hell. Like, it's in Texas. I don't know how Texas is getting hit by COVID right now. Maybe it's not getting there yet, but man,
it is. It's growing.
In Texas or just in general?
In Texas.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's not good to hear, but I mean, they're actually thinking about pushing the date back, so it is a little scary.
I'm sure they are. As they're pushing everything back right now.
Yeah, I mean they're
Up in the air.
they're canceling like just a ton of stuff that I thought there's no way it'll affect it, but I know a lot goes into planning for all that stuff, and they're probably like, you know what, we're not even going to roll the dice. We're either going to cancel it for this year or push it back.
Well, you have to. You have to. I heard there's 2 states right now that is close to. Did I hear June 15th? I thought. Seems like a lot, but yeah, they had closed it for an additional 40 days already.
Ooh, really?
Wow.
Yeah,
But just 2 of the states,
right?
And it's not on federal level, obviously.
Yeah,
but
it's still crazy to think about. All right, we're gonna jump into our studio sponsor, and I did change the number on the slide. Yay!
Big boy.
Big boy. Yeah, you can call Irvine's at 532-6600. They have been a huge supporter of the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast. Maybe not after tonight. No. To be honest, most of our listeners are audio anyways, and I'll fix this all beautiful, and no one will even know it happened. But yeah, they've been our studio sponsor. They just signed up for another 3 months, so please go support them. You can go to irvines.com. Megan or Jamie will take care of it. They are open right now. They are essential. They will disinfect your car when they come pick it up. Like, you don't even have to go to the shop. They will take care of all of that. So go to irvines.com or call 532-6600, 532-6600. Thank you.
I did want to mention one more thing too, as well, and I know he's no longer not a sponsor right now, but Steve out of all auto Steve from CarStar, sorry, he is actually offering up car washes right now. Since all other car washes are closed, they are doing fully social distancing car washes. You drive in and keep, stay in your car and all that stuff, and they'll wash your car and, let you be on your way again. And I believe it's either free or very, very cheap.
No, it's free. I read the post.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally free. So yeah, check that out. They're out at 36 and Craft. Just give a phone call when you pull up. They'll wash your car, dry it, make it look all nice, and you'll be on your way for essential workers, right? That's what you said? I'm sorry, I tuned you out.
Yeah. Yep. Essential workers. Yep.
Okay. I always like, hey, Jason, you still got to pay attention. So
John says if he's ever in Grand Rapids, he's going to come to Irvine's for all of his car needs.
Sweet.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Good job.
You
Thanks,
mean when
John.
you're in Grand Rapids for the picnic?
Or for the fight at York Creek.
It's more than a fight, big boy. All right,
Okay,
jump in. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead, Jesper.
No, I was just going to go ahead and kind of mention us that another way you guys can help us is if you submit a review on us for the show on Apple Podcasts. Please don't base that review off tonight. Base it off other nights, because make it a good review, and just kind of that's really going to help us.
Alan says our closed captioning is spelling it Irvine. What? Where?
It's
Jesper's. I told Jesper earlier to turn it off. He's got his translation on, so
I turned it off several times.
Well, is it on Skype?
Oh, actually, I think it's you now this time, Jason.
Me?
Why can't you guys see it?
On what? I don't even know what this is. I never even heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know, because we're not even using Skype anymore. So.
No. Where do I like?
Well, it's a Facebook setting, but it's for each individual user. I don't think it's broadcasting on. I think it's on you, Peter.
No,
Turn
because Alan said the closed captioning is spelling it wrong.
But that's because Alan had.
Oh yeah, if you click if you go to your Facebook, the video, you click on the gear icon. It says captions auto generated on or off.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta turn it off yourself. It's a new Facebook setting.
Fucking Facebook.
Hey.
Hey, we're explicit now. Sorry. Okay, Alan, turn it off. Thank God you're not blaming me. I'm like, did I click something? Okay. For the love of God, let's jump into rideshare in the news. And Pete, you got the first one. We're going to talk about the updated coronavirus policy from Uber.
So this is what I was mentioning earlier when we were talking. So the new policy extends the 2 weeks paid leave benefits to drivers with pre-existing conditions that heighten their risk of serious illness from COVID-19. However, also now capping the amount you can receive, even if they're past average earnings would have netted them more money under the previous policy.
Man.
For example, the cap in Los Angeles, and this is Los Angeles, is $459.
What? So Chad got $1,000, but the cap now in Los Angeles is $459?
Yep.
Oh.
It's 244 in Columbus, Ohio, and 136 in Rio Grande Valley, Texas.
I mean,
why even pay it then?
Yeah.
I mean, purpose.
Right.
I mean, I know they said they had paid out like $4 million, something like that.
Yeah, the article says as of Friday, it was $4 million to U.S. drivers.
Oh, that is disgusting. Like Jesper said, it's not even worth it. Why even go through the hassle of sending the forms in?
Yeah, I mean, if you think the cap in Los Angeles is $459, it's going to be like $25 in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh man, no. What was that low one?
136 in Rio Grande Valley, Texas.
Go Jesper.
Mike Spalding on Facebook was wondering if you can all zoom in just a little bit more.
Does it look? Is it super zoomed in? See if I can change.
Yeah,
it.
I moved my camera a little bit back.
Oh, that doesn't work. There we
better.
go.
Yeah,
that's a little better. Sorry about that.
He doesn't count. He's my brother, so.
Oh, Mark, shut the hell up. All right, next on the list is a Ford has filed a patent to help sniff out stinky ride-hailing cars. Wow, why didn't I take a breath? I read this today, but it's weird. I don't know if it's how, like, I think if you walk up, like, I don't know how it actually works. It says, if you use ride-hailing service on a regular, semi-regular basis, the odds are good that you've come across at least one driver that has seemingly gone nose deaf from way too much air freshener, which is kind of true because I use that cotton linen, the Febreze. I don't even smell it anymore. But people say, oh, your car smells amazing. I'm like, well, I just farted, so I don't know what you're smelling. But according to the patent filed on April 9, is a solution to this problem. Ford's application asserts that while current ride-hailing and taxi services offer you basic information about the car you're getting to, color, make, model, license plate, etc., they don't offer anything other than about the car smells. Let's see. Ford's system would use an environmental sensor to determine the nature of the odors inside a vehicle and would compare those odors and their concentrations to a list of thresholds set by the ride-hailing customer. So how is the information from the car going to get to the customer?
Over the app. It's smell-o-vision.
He says, for example, I have zero tolerance for black ice air fresheners. I don't know. Do people use those? I hear them a lot. So
they're super popular.
What's that?
I said they're super popular.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't like them, but.
So if I call for a car and the sensor detects that chemical profile in the car it wants to send me, it'll change up. I mean, of course, this opens some questions about privacy and ethics. If a ride-hailing driver picks up a customer who just hosed down with Curve for Men, like it was prom night 2001, this is a funny article. Would that driver be able to refuse the ride? Would the driver be penalized for a strong odor or lose business for having that smell in the car? Technology is a double-edged sword, is it not? Then
I've been using Curve since high school. F the article.
Change, Pete. Don't change.
The article does point out that, just because there's a patent, most patents don't come to fruition. But I mean, smell is a big deal. I see people complain about that quite a bit on both ends. Like the driver stinks, the guy smells like weed. I mean, I think it's just part of the business, right? I mean, you're in a small, people have different smells. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess it's just part of the deal, but it is interesting that people are actually working on something like that. So
I think there's other things that Uber needs to improve on before they work on that thing.
Well, this is even Uber, right?
No,
this is Ford.
This is Ford. No. Larry says, sounds like a bunch of hooey. Someone has too much time during quarantine. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. Man. All right, Jesper, we're going to jump into his sexy picture. Well, not Jesper's, but.
That's not my picture.
No. This is something I shared earlier on our Facebook page, but it is pretty hilarious, and it brings up a good discussion.
Yeah. So, okay. So where is it?
Oh, it's not on Facebook yet? I'm sorry. I thought I'd introed it enough. Are you looking on Facebook?
Yeah, it's not there. There it is. There you go.
Wow, we're in a big delay tonight. All right, I'll try to lengthen it. I apologize.
So basically, as you can see, this is Uber drivers during coronavirus. First, you have February, and it's all good. We are fine. And then March, we were a little bit worried. And then in April, we want to kill ourselves, right? So
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
That's basically the gist, right? That's. I think I stopped driving in early March, according to this picture here. I didn't quite get to April, that's for sure.
Well, what it does is it brings up a good conversation about the diversification. So that picture shows, he's just doing Uber and Lyft, and then that's fine. And then all of a sudden, rideshare takes a shit, and you're like, oh, God, what am I going to do now? So then I'm doing, Uber Eats and then Grubhub, and then it really takes a crap, and now you're doing Shipt and all that. It's just something to think about as we get out of this coronavirus. To be like, man, I need to diversify anymore, because who knows what the landscape's going to be like for rideshare. I mean, let's say in Michigan we go back May 1st, which I think she's going to allow a little bit back, but it's not going to be like open the gates because Governor Whitmer. But
I think he's going to let lawn mowing companies back, so I think you'll be okay, Jason.
I mean, they better, because I'm getting freaking antsy.
Jason's ready to mow some lawns at this point.
Yeah, my lawn's ready to be cut. I mean, come on. So, now I lost my train of thought. That was a good joke, Jesper, but you derailed me right off the frickin' tracks.
Well, you can mow your own lawn.
Yeah, I can. I've been putting it off. It frickin' snowed 1.5 inches today.
Yeah,
I know.
I got up this morning and I was like, what's going on outside?
Last week, people were complaining about not being able to buy flowers outside, and this morning it's snowing.
I know. Well, just my whole point is just make sure you diversify. We don't know, like I said, what the landscape is going to be like when we go back to rideshare driving. That's what I was going to say. And you don't want to just jump in the car, so you're still going to have to do food delivery and et cetera. So next up.
So here's a question for you guys, just a fun one. How many times do you guys think I've driven my car or any car the last 4 weeks?
I'm going to say twice.
3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm at 3, maybe 4. The last time I filled up was March 22. I went from filling up every day and a half, and I might make it a month without filling up.
So you're literally getting 4 weeks to a gallon.
Yeah. I'm going out tomorrow. It's my first time in a week. I get to go take my daughter to the allergist and then go to the gas station to get some Monsters. So that's the highlight for me. Next, this picture that Pete shared, it's just kind of funny. Not funny, but it's just comical on, what things we think about when we have to go out, like to the allergist or to the gas station. Hopefully it's already loaded.
So the picture is Captain Kirk, and he's talking to a bunch of red shirts. And if you're not a Trekkie, I guess the preface to all of this is that the red shirts always die typically.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Anytime they get sent on a mission, the red shirts always die. And so it's Captain Kirk, and he's got what was it, 4, 6, looks like 6 guys. And he's like, I need you guys to go to the grocery store and pick up a few things.
And again, we're not making fun of coronavirus, but you need a little humor every once in a while. And, Chad's not on the stream anymore, so we can laugh a little bit.
Hey-o!
No, I'm just teasing, Chad, if you're listening in. We're so glad that everything was okay for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, boy, this has been kind of a crazy night. So, next sponsor, Jackie at Michigan Insurance and Financial Services. Call Jackie at email Jackie at miafs.com. That's Jackie at miafs.com. I got confirmation today that she sold her first customer from GR Rideshare Adventures podcast.
There you go.
Yes.
Woo!
Nice.
And a perfect timing, too, because she just signed up for another 3 months. So thanks, Jackie. You can call her at 269-569-6127. Jackie is like an insurance broker, so she has my insurance now. I am through Progressive, but she can shop Progressive and a bunch of other ones and give you the best rate. And she takes the hassle out of shopping for insurance. I didn't have to see her. Not that I didn't want to. Did everything over email. Got to sign everything over digital. Like, didn't have to do anything. They even broke up with my other insurance company for me. I didn't even have to call them. And that's worth,
wow.
I know. That's worth the price of gold. So, because it's always awkward, right? You know, you're like, oh, I don't.
So, hey guys.
Hey, I got to break up with you. I'm real sorry. They're saving me like $80 a month. So you should always do a little audit for your car insurance anyways, like at least once a year, get some prices. So give her a call and hopefully she can take care of you. So where are we at here? I jumped ahead in an article.
I always do.
Son of a bitch. Oh, I put it on twice on the rundown.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jesper, you're up. Oh, it's a video. You're lucky. So the video we're going to play is a woman that spit at an Uber driver. And it's just, I don't see this very much anymore, Grand Rapids. Do you remember when like it went, when we first started out driving, right? Everyone was cool and it was fine. Everyone would love the service and respectful. And then we went for some time where we just got treated like shit. And not to say that we still don't, but I feel it kind of has gone back the other way. This is kind of one of those stories where the driver got treated like shit and these girls were completely shit-faced. And
I think what makes it even worse is just the disrespect also in these Corona times.
Yeah, we've seen that, right? Not just for Uber, but we've seen people like coughing and just having like they get in an argument. They're like, "I'm going to cough at you and say I have a corona." Well, they're arresting those people and charging them with like false, even if they don't have it, like some sort of false pretense.
Some people got in charge of terrorism.
Oh yeah, I did read that.
But I mean, let's face it, right? We just had Chad on.
Yeah,
I mean, it was pretty bad.
I mean, he was in a coma for 10 days. Like, he barely made it out. If he wasn't healthy, if he had an underlying condition, he would have passed away. No doubt in my mind.
Right.
So we'll play this and yeah. Oh, it's for Dustin, our boy, too. It's a little bit of a pause here.
No, I can't take.
We've already paid for the Uber.
Coronavirus.
We've already paid for the Uber.
I'm actually gonna fucking punch
I'll bash you and just take the car myself.
Do it, bro. You can.
Well, too late. I already paid for the Uber.
No, you did not pay.
We did pay.
No.
Yes, it's been paid for.
No.
Yes, it has. Well, guess what? I got the coronavirus anyway.
Oh, spit on you.
Go on. No, you dumb.
No, you didn't stop it.
I'm still the car. Oi, lad, we already paid for the Uber. What are you doing? I'm not getting there. No, cuz. I already paid for the Uber. Take me, you dumb. I'll bash ya.
Because the coronavirus.
The coronavirus.
Dustin puts a passenger eject button on there. So just for people that are listening, it's just they're recording him and just, basically bashing him. And I mean, they pretended to cough on it, but I didn't see any spit. I know it was premised as he spit on it. As I watched, I didn't see that, but
the only thing I'm missing what's causing it all. I'm missing what starts it.
I don't think he wanted to take a 45 plus.
No, I think that was the joke because it said coronavirus as the driver.
Oh,
remember that one we shared like a month ago? Yeah. I think that was just a joke. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that they weren't named coronavirus.
I mean, if I saw that, I would have canceled on the spot because I just don't even want to deal with that stuff. It's not funny, right? It's not funny. So,
are you saying you wouldn't want to deal with it because it had that name?
Oh yeah, I would. If I would have been out driving and somebody, had their name in coronavirus, I would have canceled on the spot. No, we're not doing that.
Well, here's the thing though. It doesn't matter what the story is. If he didn't want to take him, he didn't. I mean, clearly he was calm because they're recording him. Why they're so stupid? They recorded themselves. Like he's not even doing anything. He's just like, no,
right. He's just sitting there.
Yeah, like canceling the ride. So, just when you take a ride share, just try to be respectful.
It's his vehicle. It's his property. He is doing you a favor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's doing you. He's providing a service, but if he doesn't want to take you, he doesn't have to take you. But they clearly were drunk. Before we jump into Pete's article, I do want to mention back as I looked at some of the messages is they're reducing the premiums. Janet talked about that. Progressive is pretty aggressive. Oh, I didn't even try to run there. They're doing 25%, and I haven't really seen anything that high. Maybe State Farm, but the rest of them are 20 or under. But yeah, for May and June, I think they're taking it down 25%, which is.
Well, what about me? I pay for 6 months.
Maybe you get a credit. I don't know.
I better get a credit.
Who's your insurance company?
Progressive.
Oh, yeah. I would email your agent.
Should be getting something then.
Why is your agent Jackie?
Because I signed up before I knew about Jackie.
Time for an audit.
No, my guys, he's just like Jackie.
Just to let you know, Jesper's got a guy for everything. So if you need something, just message Jesper. He's got a guy.
I got a guy.
All right, go ahead, Pete.
All right, so this article is a Charlotte Uber driver won't pick you up if he thinks your trip is superfluous. Is that how you say that?
I was wondering. I don't know how to say it either. I was wondering what you were going to come up.
It doesn't feel like that's the right word.
Let's let the Dane pronounce it.
No, that's okay.
I think you got pretty close.
So here's how a Charlotte Uber driver decides if he's going to pick up a passenger in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. He calls the rider in advance to ask the purpose of the trip and to check on their health. In the last 2 days, have you had a fever, coughing, or trouble breathing? He asks riders. He wants to know why and where he's about to take a passenger so he can weed out superfluous trips like somebody wanting to hang out with a friend or family member. He said that's how community spread of coronavirus occurs. Uber does not mandate that its drivers ask customers about their health before picking them up, the company said in a statement to the Charlotte Observer. As has always been the case, if a driver feels uncomfortable picking up a passenger for safety reasons, they can choose not to accept or cancel the trip. However, it's against Uber's community guidelines to discriminate against anyone based on their race or national origin.
Yeah. Well, it kind of goes back to the last article. It's his car. But the comment, the statement of him saying, well, I don't want to spread coronavirus, then why are you driving people around? Like, right. I get it. Anyone that's hustling, I get it, man. I totally get it. You got to do what you got to do. But if you did have another option, maybe, I don't know, unemployment or whatever. But I don't know. But he does have a right. Don't you agree? Just kind of like the last guy, he does have the right to refuse. Or do you think he's overstepping his bounds by calling the passenger?
I think that's a whole lot of extra work for
$252.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, no, man, he's just doing a lot of extra. He's being real extra right now. I guess, in my opinion, if he's got the time to be calling all these rides, does he really even need a ride share in the first place? Why isn't he sitting at home?
Right.
I mean, depending on how far the ride away, if you got a 10-minute drive, I mean, it doesn't take more than 2 minutes to call. But I feel like, is it the same as calling somebody and asking them where they're going? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how often do you call somebody and ask them where they're going?
Oh, I don't, but I know drivers that do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I might call somebody that's way out in BFE, but I'm just asking your opinion if you think he's violating some terms of service.
I can see his point, but I don't think he's violating anything, but he's just being real extra. Like, I don't know.
You're just being real extra, bro.
Just being real extra, bro.
Hey, Pete, Janet already answered the question, so you don't have to have Mark kind of do all this work for you.
Oh, did she? I didn't even know.
Janet said superfluous.
Oh, superfluous.
Superfluous.
Nice.
So,
how do you say it, Pete?
Superfluous.
There you go.
Superb.
Thank you, Janet.
I like how Pete, you actually try to spell phonetically. I'm like, jeez.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just digging myself a bigger grave.
We have one more question on Facebook real quick. Mike is asking if it's also streaming on YouTube. And normally it does, but not today, I believe.
Yeah, Mike, I'm sorry. Like, if you would have came on earlier, it was just...
We had a tough start. We had a rough start.
The internet was being real extra.
Well, it's funny. Like, we've had no glitches on StreamYard. I know it's not ideal, but Skype was just hogging everything. So,
well, StreamYard is doing its normal. It's got the delay between our lips and the words coming out.
Yeah, but I'm hiding behind my mic so you can't see it.
But that's a good idea.
So, Mike, next in 2 weeks it will be on YouTube. So sorry about that. No one ever goes to YouTube. I think the last stream, 0 people were on YouTube. So I was like, just dump YouTube. What do we want? Okay. A new app for rideshare is called Envoy America. Here we go. ENVOY. Isn't that like Envoy, a GMC Envoy?
I think it's one of those words that's pronounced both ways.
Envoy?
Envoy or envoy.
Sounds stupid. So it's not in Michigan, so I'll tell you that right now. But it's an app for senior citizens to get rides, and it's more of a driver companion. So basically, how it works is they can call to get it, they can do online. They schedule the ride. There's door-to-door service. There's wait and return. There's multiple stops. You basically, like, if they have to go to a doctor's appointment, you just wait outside. If they have to go to the pharmacy, you just wait outside. You don't have to, you don't have to wait for another ride. Now, the pay, I don't know. I don't know if they're paying you per hour.
Now, Grand Rapids has a service like this that we talked about before.
Yeah, it's, what is it?
www.getpapa or something like that.
Get Papa.
I don't remember what the website was. Gabe was the one that was telling us about it, I think.
Go grandparent.
Yeah.
There's that one too, but that's for mainly just transportation. There's another one where like you don't do diapers or anything like that, but you still help them out with their day.
Yeah, I think that's what this is. You don't go in. It's kind of vague. So extra assistance. And
it's joinpapa.com.
Join Papa?
Yeah, it's called Family on Demand.
This says, in addition to safe, reliable transportation, our trained driver companions assist throughout the whole trip, whether it's the grocery shopping or navigating to the correct doctor's office. So what does that mean? Whether it's grocery shopping, like am I in the store with them, or am I like bringing them to the grocery store and then like loading their groceries when they come out? Like it's kind of vague there.
I think you're if it's like Papa, you're helping out with the groceries, you're walking with them.
Okay. So it probably is an hourly rate then I would guess, right?
That's what I would assume, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like these. I like these that are popping up. It expands, like somebody that drives like Jesper does. This doesn't mean jack shit because, he drives from 9p to 3a Friday and Saturday, doesn't drive any other time other than events. But somebody that's maybe a full-time driver that wants to, like what did we talk about? Expanding your services. This might be another way to do that.
Right.
I know when we talked about Papa before, I think it was limited to people who were in like the medical field.
Which is, I guess it's another way for them to make a little money, but
right.
I'm trying to see if I can scan through. I read a little bit today, but there's a drive for us button. Let's click on that and see that.
I know the Papa one says become a Papa Pal, earn up to $15 an hour, helping families with car rides, house tasks, and tech lessons while providing companionship.
Oh, is that the one where they teach them how to like use their phone and stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
See, I would have fun with that. Although if the person didn't get it, I'd get real frustrated.
15 an hour is a little low, I think, too.
Well, this one says earn up to 20, and it says our driver companions are among the top earners in the industry, with the average driver companion working 10 to 15. Now, when they say industry, does that mean like rideshare industry or like old people industry?
Or some hybrid of both.
Yeah. Looks like there's some hands-on training. Average, it takes 2 to 4 weeks to complete the application. So it's a little bit more serious. But hey, it's another way to make a little money.
Diversify.
Diversify.
And there's only going to be more of that, right? I mean, we all know that, but it seems like all the shopper apps is exploding right now, obviously, and Instacart is ridiculous in at least in the Grand Rapids area right now. They used to, I thought I saw in the article I read that they used to have like 15 to 20 orders a day, and now they have like any given time like 900 orders on, it's crazy.
I know Shipped right now has almost 300 in the Grand Rapids metro area.
At 10 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. Yep. I mean, I get it. People don't want to go to the grocery store, and you have the service. And I mean, and they couldn't predict that this was going to happen. And they may have seen a little bit of it starting, but man, I think I read an article that Instacart was going to hire like 100,000 shoppers or something like that.
Well, Instacart's got another problem on their hands they got to worry about, and this isn't really in our lineup, but
hey, go for it.
They're getting national news attention because they're having a huge issue with people signing up for shops, putting huge tips in there. Yeah. And after their groceries get delivered, those people are going back and cutting those tips out because on Instacart, you have 3 days to change your tip.
That's the shittiest thing I
Disgusting.
ever heard. Because obviously that shopper is going to, I mean, if y'all listening, if you want a shop to get picked up, let's put a good tip on it. But, yeah, that's super shady because I don't think Shipped works that way. I mean, I've done both, but
right.
I mean, Shipped has.
I haven't done enough Shipped to know for certain either way, but I know for sure Instacart I've done a ton of. Well, not a ton. I'm still like, 40 from your bonus.
Yeah, it ain't happening, bro. It ain't happening. Unless sweet Jesus himself comes down and takes us all up, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, on Instacart or on Shipped, it's more like you get a promo. But I don't think, God, it's been a while since I've done a Shipped. I can't remember what pops up if it has the tip included. I don't think so. I think it's actually they tip after because I've used Shipped as a customer and I always tipped after.
Yeah.
We used it. We tried to use it once last week for Instacart, and Michelle was the one handling it all, and she had some big problems figuring out how to even change the tip because we when we first ordered it, we ordered just like $150 worth, but then we were a week out before we could get it delivered. We ordered on a Sunday, and our delivery day was Friday, right? So we had a good time to kind of improve it. And so we kept putting more stuff in the cart. And so at the end, it was almost twice as much than what we had based the tip on. And so we wanted to improve the tip, but we couldn't figure out how to do that. So we ended up actually going with a different route. But yeah.
Yeah, Keith asked, can you not cash out the day or day after on Instacart? I don't know on that, but my guess is they would not let you cash out the tip.
You can cash out your earnings from Instacart, but not the tips. Because they have, like I said, 3 days to change it.
I mean, I do like the feature that if, it's kind of like Grubhub, right? They pre-tip, but what if the driver was, he showed up without a hot bag and, he stepped on the food on the way up or, you can go in and complain and get your money back, but that driver's probably going to still get that tip and that pay, and they may get an email that says, a nasty gram, but they're still going to get that tip. I like the thought of being able to change the tip, but as long as you do, don't be shady about it.
Yeah, there's got to be like you can, if you're taking the tip down, there's got to be like a maximum percentage that you can change it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we did talk about that to only knock it down. You can only, give back 50%, but
right.
It sucks for those drivers.
I did see some of those fake ones that was posted in the group. Like there was one order that wanted like 15 items and it was like a total $15, but then they had a $95 tip on it. So there's $110 for the order.
And the sad thing is, it's some, new person at Instacart is going to see that and snatch that up because they don't know any better,
Right.
You would, gosh, I know, but wouldn't you be so tempted though? I mean, that one's shady. You can see that one's probably messed up, but wouldn't you be tempted for like with everything going on and people are being generous?
I got tempted with that $0 tip one too, and I got burnt.
That was kind of on you. You rolled the dice on that one. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
He took one without a tip, hoping that.
Well, it was a 50. I took two of them that were no tips, and one of them gave me I think it was almost $20 cash tip. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna roll the dice again, and that was the longest 3 days waiting for that tip to change. Let me tell you.
Well,
man.
I look at it like this on a normal, if I was doing normal shops or even like Grubhub, right? I have a limit that it has to hit. So if it says, let's say my limit's $10, that's what the order, and it says 0 tip on it. Well, it's hit my limit. Okay. It's $10. I'm going to do it. And I'm hoping that they're going to do cash, when I get there. And most times they do, but sometimes they don't. And I would think, well, at least I didn't take it for $4. At least I took it at 10, where at least I know that I'm getting what I set out to get. So we're going to jump into our own ad. This is our Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/grrideshare, you can support us so we can get a better computer. You get behind the scenes, the Gig Economy podcast. And if you sign up for the $10 tier, we do give you a GR Rideshare Adventures hat as a thank you for being a sponsor or being a Patreon member. So if you go to patreon.com/grrideshare, we would really, really love the support. It's been fun with the ones we've had. We really, really thank you for that. I saw Miguel's like, no Twitch tonight. I was like, oh, he's a Patreon member. I feel bad I'm letting him down. So, yep, if you feel the need to support us, I know it's tough times. And, if you can't, that's fine too. But, we do give a lot of free content. And if you'd like to support us, that would be we'd be really appreciative of that. I slaughtered that. I apologize. All right, back to business. Jesper.
Yeah, so this article is about 2 weeks old, so it's a little bit old news.
That's okay.
It's from the 2nd, and the idea is that Uber was supposed to sending out hand sanitizer, a couple of bottles to drivers. Now, I don't actually know if we have received any here locally, because there were some issues with whether or not markets without hubs were going to get them, and obviously they shut down the hub here in Grand Rapids. But then they were going to ship into it. But I have not seen, in following a little bit with the online, I have not heard of any of our local drivers getting the disinfectants. But anyways, the story goes: Uber Technologies will begin shipping disinfecting car spray to selected drivers in areas most affected by the coronavirus outbreak. An executive said on Tuesday. Uber Senior Vice President of Global Rides and Platform Operations, Andrew, said on Twitter that the company had received an initial batch of 30,000 bottles of cleaning spray by some Atlanta-based company. And he said that drivers could place an order in the app and receive shipment free of charge. As a start, we are prioritizing the most active drivers in a few cities, including New York. McDonald wrote on Twitter, adding that the company was working on securing more supplies. Previously, Uber said suppliers had prioritized orders for healthcare, with its own orders being moved down the queue several times. So I did see a couple. I'm just going to stop there, but I did see a couple of international groups that got the spray, but none of the local ones. It'd be interesting to hearing any of our viewers got any of those car sprays.
Yeah, I was just looking back at my emails. I kind of just delete Uber emails right now just because whatever. But I swear I got one that said that they were going to do something, but I will look back and even my trash, I didn't. So I don't know how they're getting it, because you can't get it around here and you can't even get it shipped to you. Like my wife went grocery shopping on Friday and there was no paper towel.
Right.
So I was like,
it's always a weird thing when you go to the grocery store. It's always like a roulette of what's going to be sold out for the day. I went to Meijer last week, and everything. They had meat. They didn't have toilet paper or paper towel or cleaning, but that's like a given.
Right.
But the butter, zero butter, nothing, no sticks, no tubs.
Really?
Like just even like all the, nasty, it's not really butter.
Poverty butter.
Yeah. All of it just completely gone. I walked up and down because I'm trying to find some butter and I'm like, am I in the wrong place? I always come to this Meijer, but the whole
was it
section
right around
sold
Easter?
Even before Easter.
Yeah.
Like that whole week.
Yeah. My guess is that week before people were doing a lot of cooking, although you shouldn't be going to anyone's houses. So, I mean, although my wife made a fantastic meal. So
what do you guys have?
We just ended up having a roasted chicken.
Okay.
It was really good. Like the whole bird. And yeah,
we had a roasted turkey and stuffing, mashed potatoes.
We smoked the turkey as well. It was delicious.
How long did it take you to smoke that?
10 hours.
Damn. Is that electric?
No, it's a charcoal smoker.
Oh, that takes some work for those charcoal ones.
I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning and put it on. No, 6 o'clock in the morning, put it on. It was on at 7. And yeah, I babied that all day long. It was delicious.
I've done that with ribs once, and there was so much work to keep that temperature where I needed to go. I was like, I ain't doing this again. Like,
you just got to keep adding charcoal every hour or so or something.
I had to add more fuel 3 times. Yep.
Oh, that's it? Shoot, I ended up having we're getting way off topic, but I ended up having another small charcoal grill that I got them hot with, and then I would move those hot ones into the what I was smoking them in.
Well, that sounds like a whole lot of extra work.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm getting an electric one next time.
I have a really big tray at the bottom of my barrel smoker that I fill with charcoal every time.
Okay.
And if I use not briquettes, but I use
wood chips.
The wood. Well, it's a charcoal made out of wood chips or whatever, made out of wood pieces.
Oh.
It burns much longer than the briquettes.
Yeah,
so,
I probably didn't Google
Janet says that New Zealand has a shortage of flour.
Everywhere. We can't find flour either. I mean, every other time we go to Aldi, there's no flour. So
really, the one on East Beltline's had flour every time. I haven't gone shopping now in like 3 weeks.
What is this, cooking hour? This cooking hour?
Yeah, of course it is.
GR Right Chair Cooking Hour.
Cooking hour with Peter, Jason, and Jesper.
Before we jump into the last couple things, how frustrating is it? And this is like not rideshare related. That shit from Amazon takes a month. I've been buying from Walmart, and it takes like 4 days to get it to me.
You are a heathen. How can you buy from a Walmart? That's like the American public enemy number 1.
Hey, I'm just saying, I needed something for my kids for the schooling, and I went to Amazon. It said like May 14. I'm like, screw this. I went to Walmart. It said 4 days. I'm like, cool.
So was this a Xbox One?
No, it's for my kids.
It's for my kids.
I have not got stimulated yet, Pete. I can't do that.
You may want to talk to your wife.
Yeah, I know exactly. So the next one is another video. It's pretty short. It's just, it's funny, Pete, when I was putting this into XSplit, where this story lined up in XSplit, so I kind of keep everything in there and then I just go and rewrite over it. You had a story of a DoorDash driver, I think 2 weeks ago, that
the one that sneezed on.
Yes, and it was literally in the same spot, and it was assigned to you. I thought this is hilarious. So we're gonna play that video real quick, and then we'll talk about it. It's pretty short. Looks right up at the camera.
Yeah.
So basically, for listeners, he walked in, the door closed behind him. You heard that big bang, and he opened the cup, took a couple swallows, put the lid back on, and walked upstairs. It's just like, what are you doing? I would never think of doing that.
Yeah, that's, it's things like that, like McDonald's, they seal their bags.
Yes. I've noticed that.
And it makes you really think about what's going on because, I worked in the restaurant industry for almost 20 years and people would always, you've seen, I'm sure Jason, maybe Jesper has, you've seen the movie Waiting.
Nope.
And really? Oh my gosh. Anyways, it's this movie about a restaurant. It's based on Bennigan's, but it's called something else. And, but it's about like how the cooks do things to people's food or whatever when they piss them off. And so people always ask me, how often does that happen at your pizza place? I'm like, never. It literally never happens. And then as I started doing, rideshare and gig work and stuff, these videos come out and I'm like, holy crap. Like people are literally out here doing that. It's nuts.
Yeah, I think it's all about, your space. So not to say that it did happen with you, Pete, but I mean, your space is pretty tight in a pizza place. I worked at Jets for years before, many years ago. And it's, everything's pretty tight. You can't really get it. But I feel like cooks at a bigger restaurant kind of can get away with stuff.
Yeah.
I assume there's cameras in there now too, but I just as the ethical part of it, I'm like, yeah, I'm really thirsty and this smells amazing, but I'm going to, be a big boy and deliver the food and then go get my own.
Right.
I mean, I've never even thought about that.
Right.
So,
well, most of the restaurants here locally, don't they let? I know at one point McDonald's were having the Uber Eats drivers get a free pop and stuff. So what's the big deal?
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of them do offer. I typically turn it down because I always got something in my car, but
right.
A lot of them do. Offer.
Maybe that's why they're doing that. It's like, please drink your own.
I mean, do we have to do this? Are we not adults? Like,
nope.
Come on.
Clearly, we are not adults out here.
Clearly,
some of us are just
not.
Clearly not
drinking people's shakes.
All right.
Or my brother said, or at least do it in the car before starting to walk.
Well, yeah, he goes in the building. I mean, I'm just basing that video on what somebody said. The guy could have been his own. It could have been that guy, and he just did it. I don't know, but I don't know why I don't have an article with it. I saw it somewhere. I think I pulled it from a news site and just pulled the video, so I think it is legit. But I just pulled the video and not the news portion of it. But yeah, like
no, it's the article.
Yeah, it was. I realize that now, but I just typically I'll just pull the video. But yeah, at least do it in the car. Oh my God, what an idiot. So this one's kind of funny, and I mean, I never would expect to. Sorry, let me get this over. I know you guys are a little delayed on there, but I would never expect to see this in a rideshare group or anything like that. But one of our local drivers posted, "A month of waiting, and Uber finally activated my account after a complaint to the Better Business Bureau before they did not like the screenshot." My car insurance. It says, "Hi, Andre. My team received your escalation from the Better Business Bureau regarding your insurance document. I have gone ahead and approved your insurance document. Your account is currently active for deliveries only. If you'd like to continue taking passengers, you need to complete a vehicle inspection." Well, I know this guy. I know he got in a wreck about 2 months ago. I've seen him post it. So he was only doing deliveries. But how is it like he went to the Better Business Bureau and then they reached out to Uber? Like, isn't that the weirdest thing you'd see on a rideshare Facebook group?
Yes.
I mean, I didn't know they could do that. I mean, maybe that's something. If someone gets deactivated, maybe you can be like, "I called the Better Business Bureau. Can you help me?" I don't know. He could be lying too. Although the message is right there. I guess he's not lying. I always throw people under the bus.
I don't know. I saw it and then, I mean, I guess I can see it. I mean, it took Lyft forever to get their act together when I was in my accident, but
yeah, you should have called the Better Business Bureau.
Clearly.
Well, the thing is like, I can't believe they would even do anything. Like, I wouldn't even never have thought to call them. I always thought they were kind of a joke, but I mean, they used to be big back in the day before the internet and Yelp and those kind of things where you tweet to somebody and, throw them under the bus. But I thought that was quite impressive that he reached out to Better Business Bureau and they were the ones that helped him get reactivated again. So this next one is just a still picture. It's one of those weird things where a company is saying, well, Pete, you can just go. I don't know why I'm jumping on your shit.
So I had to figure out where we were.
Too much food talk.
I think Jesper's up, right?
Oh, shit. Is it Jesper?
No, I think you jumped again. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, because there's no picture or anything for Jesper's.
Okay, so.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Go, Pete. Jesper can go next.
All right. So it's a picture from Uber. It's sponsored by them, so you know it's real. And it says, a company that moves people is asking you not to move. Together we can stop this. And then there's like 2 stop signs and a big stop sign in the road.
Yeah, it's just hilarious from them.
Right.
You know, in the back of their mind, they're like, oh, please drive, please drive. We were already hemorrhaging money, and now this. I mean, maybe their Uber Eats is just killing it right now, and they're like, whatever, we can put this message out. I just thought it was kind of funny that, Uber did that. So
Right.
All right, Jesper, you can go. Sorry, I'm not like juggling 6 things over here.
So this is a story from Philly, and of course it's about a coronavirus. And the idea, the main part is that this is riders that is being stopped from using their apps on from Uber. Basically, they get a message from Uber saying, "Hi, we were made aware of a public health concern by your local Department of Public Health. Your rider account has been placed on hold until the public health officer completes their investigation. You can still use the Uber Eats app to order food. We understand this is concerning, but we can't share information on behalf of the Department of Public Health. In addition, our Uber support teams won't be able to offer additional assistance until the investigation is complete." So basically, don't contact us, we'll contact you, right? And then it goes on and it says, further down, they actually talk to the public health department, and they say there's no way that they share any of that information with Uber. So nobody really knows where this is coming from. And there certainly is not. This is not something that the health department is telling to Uber. So again, that's the whole gist of the story. A bunch of our rider accounts was deactivated, but nobody really know why, and Uber is not saying anything.
Well, yeah, somebody's not telling the truth. I mean, it can't be all from. I mean, it can't be from riders. I mean, I guess it could be for 1 or 2, but if a bunch of them get deactivated, they're clearly not telling the truth, which doesn't surprise me. But
so they did talk to one of the riders, and he sent a message back to Uber requesting more information. He got Uber's reply back. "Thank you for reaching out. The safety of all users is important to us. We understand this may be frustrating, but until we can confirm that the health concern has been resolved, your account will remain on hold. As a reminder, while your rider account is on hold, you can do blah, blah, blah." And of course, as the rider keeps going down, he's like, there's a bunch of concerns that they have now, right? He said, "Did an Uber driver report me for coughing? Has Uber suspended me because my Uber driver was exposed to the coronavirus? Did Uber suspend me because a different rider in the same car was exposed? Am I somehow otherwise connected to somebody who has been exposed to the coronavirus? And now the city is turning over all that person's contact to Uber," and so forth. It all goes on and on and on and on. But
a whole lot of finger pointing going on, because
I know
the city is saying they're not releasing any information to Uber.
I think that's the big part here is the city is saying that no, there's no way they didn't get this information from us. So yeah, there's just a bunch of unknowns is essentially what's going on.
Just want to give a shout out to Dave from Las Vegas. I think he's new, and then Tom Liston. Is that Tom from
Chicago?
Yep.
Okay, yep. And then Austin too. I'm not sure where he's from.
And I looked up Tom. Tom is wearing a mask. Good job, Tom. So
yeah. All right.
Are you still driving, Tom?
So real quick, we're just going to jump into tip time and shenanigans, and we'll get the hell out of here. So our tip tonight, at least for the people in Michigan, and it may be helpful in other states, the unemployment system is like hemorrhaging. The servers are going down. I know they went down for the entire day on Monday. Please don't call them. They're just going to hang up on you. Like, they're literally not even taking calls. The chat does work. Last week I was chatting with them, or while I was on hold, Pete and I played like 2.5 hours of Call of Duty, and then all of a sudden, so I have a dual screen monitor. I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm like, oh, Pete, I gotta go. They're chatting with me. Andrew's here. So they will connect to you, but the chat is the way to go. I mean, don't try to call them. I'm sure the calling does work at a certain point, but then it just kind of like shuts down if it's overloaded. But
I got on their website at 8 a.m. sharp that next day, and it still took me 2 hours to get through the chat. It was like an hour and 50 minutes before they got to me, and I was on like, I mean, I'm serious, like 8 a.m. sharp.
You're like,
I was hitting refresh on the page till it changed to chat.
Well, they did say that if you do go in line, they will answer your chat by the end of the day. So even though the chat time has ended, if you still stay in the queue, or you're like me where you're waiting 45 minutes and your internet glitches out for, I don't know, what was that, Pete, like 60 seconds, and it was back up and I lost my place in line. I was like, geez.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
Oh, I'm glad I was just playing video games. But
right.
So yeah, don't call, chat. And thank God they have that. So we're
it's been bad. I made a video. I don't know if you guys, I didn't even see if it was in the lineup here, but I made a video on how to sign up for the PUA, which is the
pandemic.
Yeah, pandemic assistance. And it was, I think, 7:00 or so in the evening, and the website was still crashing while I was trying to make the video. I had to redo it like 2 or 3 times because it would crash in the middle of my recording.
Yeah, if you're looking for that, we shared it on Facebook and YouTube. It's just kind of a step-by-step once you get in there. I did have a lot of comments like, how do you get to that? That's why I asked you to, Pete. I've commented a few people on YouTube. I think you have to create an account, and then there's a spot that says PUA application.
It should be, if you haven't filled it out yet, it should be right under your alerts. It says file a PUA application.
But that flow chart that I posted, it shows that you shouldn't file for unemployment, which was kind of weird.
Right.
I shared that too. So, man, there's just a lot of, I'd say just.
Well, there's 2 things. There's the PUA, and then there's unemployment. So if you are a gig worker, you're not supposed to file the regular unemployment. You're supposed to go straight to the PUA.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people ran into that roadblock because they were so, hurry to apply. And I get it.
I did.
Yeah, I get it. You need money. I totally get it. I'm not knocking it, but I think the system's just like, this isn't happening. So, hopefully things.
So did you hear anything back about the PUA then, Pete?
They said that. So what happens is you fill out all this information and you save it as a draft. And that's what was hanging up a lot of people. Yes. They were like, I can't even submit it. And you're not supposed to submit it. You save it as a draft, and they're not even looking at those until the 20th.
Okay.
And then they're going to go through one by one. They're going to go automatically submit it for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But
here's the thing, though. Shame on them for not putting a fucking submit button on there. I'm sorry, my language, but how often do you fill something out and click submit? If there's nothing there, people freak out. Like, did you even like? What is this, fantasy world? You just type like
they should just called it submit, even though it wasn't really getting submitted, and then people would have been fine.
How many people are getting online, waiting 3 hours, bogging up the chat because? And I get it. I would have done the same thing. I've been like, well, this is messed up. I mean, how do I know you got my answers?
Right.
Or say, just have it say done or whatever. Don't say save as draft.
Yeah, I don't even think there was a save as draft button. It was just like, it just said, what did it say? We submitted it or something?
It was, I think it was like a save as draft.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. It was super confusing.
Man, who designed that idea? Freaking idiot.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It doesn't surprise you from the government, though. I mean, let's face it. All right, Facebook shenanigans. This one is a doozy, and when I do the lineup, I get to pick the doozy ones for me. So And this one is, I mean, I have seen this question. Take a deep breath. So many times.
Yeah.
Are we considered essential employees? Well, there's people that liked it and like did a laugh face, and there's 66 comments. And comment number one of them, it says, if a state trooper doesn't shoot you, then you're essential. And I'm like, thank you, Don Steele. I don't know who you are, but that was needed in this conversation. Now, I don't know what date this is. I have seen less and less people asking as it's happened, but yes, if you're food delivery, you are essential. If you're grocery delivery, you are essential. If you're a nurse, you're essential. If you're a stocker, you're essential. Like anything to do with food, you'll be essential. And rideshare and taxi service.
Not lawn care.
Not lawn care. And I'm okay with that. But mind you, those essential rideshare workers are talking to people all day. I'm by myself all day.
Yep.
Just sitting on my lawnmower, doing my thing. So, Jespers, this is kind of funny from Ben Crocker. Who's Ben? He posted this in the rideshare group, and it's hilarious. Sorry, I didn't know it was up already, buddy.
Oh, it's not. I'm in the lineup.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the 1961. It's a picture from the 1961 Sears catalog with, I gotta say, this is the first car seat for babies, which is an auto strap for front seat tots, because it's a good idea to put your baby, your toddler, on the front seat. Let's open up the window. Let's loosen that strap a little bit and have the baby put her head out the window. There you go. Guard your child as you are busy driving through traffic. Let him sit, stand, kneel, or sleep without disturbing driver. Prevent spills from sudden stops. Heavy web harness attaches to safety strap that snaps to car seat frame. Removes easily.
Prevent spill from sudden stops.
88 cents.
You missed it, though. You missed the best part. Also used as a walking harness for ages 1 to 10. What the hell? I mean, that's the best part of the ad. Also used as a walking harness for ages 1 to 10. I have a 10-year-old. My 10-year-old would beat my ass if I ever tried to attach that to him.
I just thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, it is really good. And then let's see the last one.
This is a pretty good one too.
Well, it's one of those questions, and then again, I swear.
How are the roads?
Right. I swear Facebook like highlights, because you know how you will see like one comment and there might be like there is only one on this one, but there might be like 60 of them, but you see the one at the preview and it's always like the best one. It's like they read it. So go ahead.
No, this one, it's a question from one of the Uber and Lyft groups. And it says, question, what have you seen an increase, decline, or no change in the amount of rides since the start of COVID-19? And I mean, obviously, the first thing that pops in your head is like, that's one of those questions where if you were actually doing rideshare, you would know the answer to.
Yeah.
But the first comment and only comment is you need more than advice.
Well, I mean, even if you aren't doing rideshare, I mean, it's pretty obvious there's a quarantine, there's shit's going down, they're asking you to stay home. It's just, I just wonder with people on Facebook, and Facebook's the worst, that they're just like, oh my gosh. And I know I brought it up before, I'm in so many damn groups and I see the same question over and over again.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, guys, I am glad this is done. No, I'm not. I had a good time. Scott joins in from Titletown. What does that mean? Titletown. I thought he's from Green Bay. Is that Titletown, USA? I don't know. Thank you guys for dealing with the shitty stream. Clearly, Skype's a resource bandit, and it didn't work well. As soon as we got off that, it was fine. We'll try to correct that in the future. I know the mouths and the lips don't quite, or the audio and the video don't quite line up because we're kind of doing a triple stream here, but whatever, no one cares. Again, thanks. We will be back in 2 weeks with kind of a big an announcement. It's going to be pretty big. You guys are going to be shocked. So 2 weeks, come join us back, and we'll have a big announcement about the GR Rideshare Adventures. So thanks, guys, and have a safe night.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.